Hello, good day viewers. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a very simple way to master the trigonometric ratios of all the 16 special angles on a unit cycle using only your fingers. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to your learning colleagues. Let's get started. To start, you can see this is my unit cycle. We have our 16 special angles. Always start from the first quadrant. Remember, we have 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always start here. In the first quadrant, we have 3 special angles that are bounded by 0 and 90 degrees. So, if you have this 3, the rest are just a replicant. They can either be negative or positive version, but they will remain the same. Alright, to start, I'm going to start with this 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That are 0, 90, 180, and 270 degrees. Remember, a unit cycle is a cycle of radius 1 unit. Therefore, from the center, this point is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. But remember, we are on a Cartesian plane where the left-hand side of x is positive. The left is negative. If you go to the top of y-axis, you have positive values. If you come below x-axis, you have negative values. So remember, the coordinate at this point is 1, 0. What does it mean? It means that cosine of 0 is 1. Sine of 0 is 0. And how do we do that? Using our fingers. You should assign 0 degrees, 30, 45, 60, and 90. These are the 5 special angles within this position from 0 to 90 degrees, right? If you are looking for cosine of 0, where is 0 degree? This one, right? Just fold it. You are moving towards your thumb if you're talking about cosine. So we have 4 fingers standing. What is square root of 4? Square root of 4 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. This is why we have this 1. But sine of 0, we have no finger to the left-hand side of this one, which I have folded. So before the finger are folded, there's no any finger. So we take square root of 0. Always take square root of the number of fingers you have standing. So it will be square root of 0, which is 0 divided by 2 is also 0. So you should look at the formula. It will be square root of something, which we don't know. Let me write x, divide by 2. So the only thing we need to find, x here stands for the number of fingers. Divide by this 2 is always there, constant. So for 0 degree, cosine will be square root of 4, which is 2. Divide by 2 is 1. Square root of nothing is 0. Divide by 2 is 0. Then, okay, I think let me finish this 4. They are very important. The coordinate here, y is 1, x is 0. X is negative 1 here, but y is 0. Y is negative 1 here, and what do you call it? X is 0, sorry, here. X is 0, y is negative 1 here. So this is a mistake. X is 0 here, y is 1. All right. Let's compute for these 3, and I told you the rest are just a replicate of the rest. 30 degrees. This is 0, this is 30. Just fold it. Cosine will be square root of these numbers, 1, 2, 3, divided by 2. So it will be square root of 3 divided by 2, comma. What about sine of 30? To the left, we have only 1. Square root of 1 is 1 divided by 2. So we have 1 divided by 2 here. Can you see that? Therefore, cosine of 30 degrees is square root of 3 divided by 2, while sine of 30 degrees is 1 divided by 2. What about 45? 0, 30, 45 is halfway. You see, either by going this side or this side, you have two fingers left. So for cosine, it will be square root of 2 divided by 2. For sine, it will be square root of 2 divided by 2, the same values. So under 45, we have square root of 2 divided by 2. Likewise, for sine, square root of 2 divided by 2. What about 60 degrees? 0, 30, 45, 60. For cosine, we have 1 left. For sine, we have 3 left. Therefore, it will be Square root of 1 over 2 for cosine. Square root of 1 is 1, so we have 1 over 2. But for sine, we have square root of 3 divided by 2. Square root of 3 divided by 2. Remember, I told you the rest are going to be a replicant of this. If you come to the second quadrant, you should know that 120 and 60 have the same value of y. Because look at the value of y here. I don't want to mess up with this diagram. You see that they all meet at this point, therefore they will have the same value of y. And that value of y is sine. Now if you come down here at this point, it will correspond to the value of x under 60, just that this will be positive and this will be negative. Therefore, you take negative version of cosine and positive version of sine. So the coordinate here will be what? Negative 1 over 2, positive root 3 divided by 2. The only difference is that for x, it will take negative because this is x-axis, which is negative. You can see even 1 is negative here. Then this 135 will correspond to 45. If you draw a straight line here, they will meet at the same point. They have the same value of y, but x will be negative. So for this one, it will be negative square root of 2 divided by 2. But for y, you have positive square root of 2 divided by 2. Therefore, if you are looking for cosine of 135 degrees, it will be negative root 2 divided by 2. But for sine, it will remain root 2 divided by 2. 150 will correspond to 30 degrees. Just that the x-coordinate will be negative. Negative square root of 3 divided by 2 and 1 divided by 2. What about this? If you observe this and this, or let me use first quadrant. If you go straight from 220, it will correspond to what? 30 degrees. But in this third quadrant, x and y are all negative values, because look at this. This is negative axis of y, this is negative axis of x. So all the two coordinates will be negative, which will correspond to 30, right? Look at it straight. It will be negative root 3 divided by 2 and negative 1 over 2. Then this one will correspond to what? 45. They are straight. All of them will be negative. Negative root 2 divided by 2, negative root 2 divided by 2. And this one will correspond to 60 degrees. So it will be negative 1 over 2, comma, negative root 3 divided by 2. That is for 40. Cosine of 240 degrees will be negative 1 over 2. Sine of 240 degrees will be negative root 3 divided by 2. Then the last quadrant here, let me start with 330. 330 is a reflection of 30 degrees. Just that for x-axis, it will be positive because this x-axis here is positive, but y, which is for sine, will remain negative. So the coordinate here for x will be square root of 3 divided by 2. But this 1 over 2 will be negative, right? Therefore, cosine of 330 degrees is root 3 divided by 2, but sine of 330 degrees will be negative 1 over 2 or negative 0.5. This will correspond to 45. But x is positive and y is negative. So we have root 2 divided by 2, comma, negative root 2 divided by 2. And lastly, this one, which must correspond to 60 degrees. 1 over 2 will remain 1 over 2. But root 3 divided by 2 will be negative in the fourth quadrant. Can you see that? I have written all the 16 ratios without using calculator, just using my fingers. And I have only used fingers in the first quadrant. The rest, they are just repetition, either positive or negative. Someone might ask, what about tangent? Tangent is just the ratio of sine by cosine. For instance, if you're looking for tangent of 30 degrees, it will be this divided by this. Just take this value divided by this value. It will be 1 over root 3. which you can rationalize as root 3 divided by 3. If you are looking for tangent of 45 degrees, it will be this divided by this, which is going to give you 1. Tangent of 45 degrees is 1. So you can do that for yourself. Once you master this one, tangent is not a problem because it is just a ratio of sine by cosine. Tangent of theta is the same thing as sine of theta divided by cosine of theta. Therefore, tangent of 90 degrees will be sine of 90 degrees, which is 1, divided by cosine of 90 degrees, which is 0. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.